Hi, it's Bruce. It's Sunday, May 9th, 2010 in New York City on a cloudy day. Saw two plays this week, and that's about all I could deal with because we had some people to dinner also, and I'm exhausted. And tomorrow I got to go to work, so if anybody has any ideas of how I can retire, I would love to know, because I just don't think I have it in my future. But I could really use no more work. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people think that. All right, as I said, I saw two plays this week, and the first one was last Sunday. It was an early preview, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I liked it. I don't like to really talk too much about something in previews, but I think it's on its way to being really quite good because I really enjoyed it. And it's That Face. It's a play called That Face by a young playwright, Polly Stenham, who's British, and when she wrote it she was 19. I guess it won some awards in London. So it's at Stage 1 at the Manhattan Theatre Club at City Center, and it's about a little under 2 hours long. It has an intermission, so it goes along at quite a good clip. It's a really good play, I thought, and it rang some fulsome chords in me. It's about sort of a pill-taking, reclusive mother, played by Layla Robbins, and her two kids, mostly her son, who's played by Christopher Abbott, who is very close to his mother. She's kind of reclusive and doesn't want to let him go. And let's just say it sort of reminded me of, what did it remind me of? Oh well, too close to call here. Too much information for me to give out. Anyway, I think I like this play because it did remind me of some of my own life, but I have to say that it was quite good. It's sort of a cross between a little bit of Joe Orton in there. It's kind of a little quirky thing, and some Patrick Marber. If you put Patrick Marber mated with Joe Orton, and maybe their child would be Polly Stenham. Christopher Abbott as the son is just wonderful, and his sister, played by Kristen Milioti, is also great. So these two kids are raised by this reclusive mother who never gets out of her slip, and mostly stays in bed and takes pills, and the daughter winds up in kind of getting evicted, suspended from boarding school for a little prank she helped pull on another girl, and they're all quite dysfunctional, so I always liked that. Now 5 of us went together, and 3 of us liked it, and 2 of the people I was with didn't care for it. So I guess maybe it's not for everybody, but I really liked it. I thought Layla Robbins, when she gets even more stage time doing the play over again in these previews, she's already great. So I can't imagine how frightening it might be by the time this play opens. I hope it gets very good reviews. And Sarah Benson directed it, and I thought it was a great play by a 19-year-old playwright. I really, really enjoyed it. Gave me a lot to think about, a lot to pull from my past and sort of remember strangeness that happens in other families. All right, so I recommend That Face to people who want to see a new, young British playwright. Now, oddly enough, the second play we saw, which was just yesterday, matinee, was also at Manhattan Theatre Club, but their Broadway theater at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater on 47th. Wish they wouldn't have named that theater Samuel J. Friedman. I find it just a bad name. Anyway, oh, no, I'm sure Samuel J. Friedman was a great person, but it's just hard to remember the name of that theater. All right, it's a play. It's a revival of a play by Donald Margulies called Collected Stories. This play's been done in New York several times. I saw the last version, I don't know, about 10 years ago, I don't know, with Uta Hagen. And now it stars the delightfully brilliant Linda Lavin, who I've enjoyed ever since like the 60s when I bought the CD of It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, and she was a Broadway ingenue, having two great songs in that show. Donald Margulies is having a great year because not only is Collected Stories back in a nice production, but Time Stands Still just got nominated for Best Play. And I really love Time Stands Still too, so I like Donald Margulies. Okay, Linda Lavin is the reason to see this play. If you don't know the play, it's about an older writer, Ruth Steiner, played by Linda Lavin, who is tutoring a young student in writing, has her over to the apartment to give her a tutorial, and the student is played by Sarah Paulson. It turns out it's sort of a little bit of like All About Eve, although I don't think the character played by Sarah Paulson starts as Eve, but she is so interested in sucking up everything in Ruth Steiner's life because she herself is a writer and she wants to be successful. The first hint that something's sort of wrong is when Sarah sort of disses Ruth Steiner for never writing a novel, because in the student's mind, not until you write a novel are you a fully accepted writer, attained the perfect writing form by writing a novel. And Linda Lavin writes stories and publishes collections of stories. Is very, very successful at it. It turns out that she does hire the student as an assistant, mostly to help her schedule and organize, although the student over-organizes and takes all of Ruth's things and puts them in order, and of course Ruth can't find anything. So that's kind of funny. And the student gets into Ruth's person a lot, and by talking, and she pulls out of her things that are very personal to her, that she really doesn't want revealed, and of course uses them in Act 2 as she tries to become a novelist and have something of her own to write. This is sort of a major betrayal, and it leads to a wonderful Act 2 with Linda Lavin really giving a great performance. Act 1 is nice, but Act 2 is where all the fireworks are. So I recommend Collected Stories. I think it's only running till the first week of June, just to see Linda Lavin and to watch a study in what an actress can do just sitting. Well, if you watch Linda Lavin's face in Act 2 when she's sitting on that couch, it's really worth the price of admission. Okay, I want to give a shout out to a guy named Dave who does reviews. He's been watching my reviews and I've been watching his reviews. Dave is on YouTube. He goes by the moniker Someone481, so you might want to check out his reviews. He's lives upstate and comes down. He sees musicals, and he's an avid fan of the theater. And Dave is a really nice guy. We've had some communication back and forth. And it reminds me of when I was 17. If only I had YouTube at 17. I have no idea what I do. But I didn't even have videotape. And when I was 17, they didn't have videotape. We had no VCRs. We had nothing. We had, as Betty White said on Saturday Night Live, we had the phone book. If you watched Saturday Night Live last night and saw Betty White, it was one of the best Saturday Night Lives in years, and she knocked the socks off of every sketch, and she was in about every sketch. 88 years old, she was great. So Betty White and I have a few things in common. I'm not 88, but we both didn't have videotape when we were young. All right, well, have a great weekend. I'm also going to do a separate blog on the Tony nominations because it's just too much to put in one. So check out that. I have what I'm going to plan on being a Tony nomination rant, I think. All right, have a good week. I hope y'all get more rest than I do.